The heavy wooden door slams shut behind you with a hard, final crack that echoes through the stone hallway. A guard pushes the iron bolt across the door, and the scraping sound feels like it seals your fate. Just a few minutes ago, you were standing in a courtroom trying to defend yourself. Now you are here. Your trial was fast and cold. The Lord's official read the accusation. The judge barely looked at you, and before you could explain anything, the guards grabbed your arms and dragged you away. That is how quickly a person can fall in the medieval world. One moment you are free, the next, you are a prisoner. The cell is smaller than you expected, and darker too. Thick stone walls drip with moisture, and the air smells like rot, mold, and human waste. The floor is not clean stone, but wet dirt mixed with old straw that has clearly been here for far too long. Somewhere in the darkness, a man coughs loudly, the kind of cough that sounds painful and deep. Then, a quiet voice from the corner breaks the silence. "First day?" the man whispers. You turn toward the sound, trying to see his face in the shadows. "Don't worry," he says calmly. "You'll get used to the smell." You quickly realize the cell is not empty. Shapes begin to appear as your eyes adjust to the darkness. Bodies sit against the walls, some lying on the ground, others hunched over like tired animals. There are more people here than you first thought. 8, maybe 10. It is hard to count because nobody moves much. One man is chained to a metal ring in the floor. Another scratches something slowly into the stone wall with a broken nail. A third man sits in the corner staring at nothing at all, like his mind left this place long ago. The man who spoke earlier crawls a little closer to you. His beard is tangled and wild, and his clothes look like they have not been washed in years. He studies your face for a moment before asking a strange question. "So, how long until they hang you?" You blink in confusion. "What?" you ask. The man shrugs casually. "Everyone here has a date eventually," he says. Another prisoner laughs quietly from the darkness. "The real question," the voice says, "is whether you survive long enough to reach it." Hunger arrives faster than you expect. Your stomach begins to complain long before anything resembling food appears. Hours pass in the darkness before the guard finally returns. Heavy footsteps echo down the corridor, followed by the rattle of keys and chains. Without saying a word, he shoves a wooden bucket through the iron bars and walks away like feeding animals in a barn. The prisoners move instantly. Men who looked half dead a moment ago suddenly crawl toward the bucket with surprising speed. You hesitate for just a second, unsure what is inside. That hesitation costs you dinner. Within seconds, the bucket is nearly empty. One man scoops the last gray lumps into his mouth, while another scrapes the inside with his fingers like he is searching for treasure. You finally ask the obvious question. "What was that?" The bearded prisoner wipes his mouth and shrugs. "Bread soup," he says. You stare at the bucket. "What's in it?" He thinks for a moment before answering. "Bread," he says calmly. Then he adds, "Sometimes the soup part is just water." The guards here are not gentle men. They walk the corridor like wolves patrolling a cage full of trapped animals. Their boots echo loudly on the stone floor, reminding everyone that freedom is far away. Most of the time, they ignore the prisoners completely, as if the people inside these cells are already dead. But sometimes they stop. Sometimes they choose someone. When that happens, the entire prison grows quiet because everyone knows what comes next. One afternoon, the guards return, dragging a man from the neighboring cell. His hands are tied behind his back, and he is begging loudly. "Please, I told you everything!" he cries. The guards laugh. One of them says, "We'll decide that." They pull him down the hallway toward a wooden door at the end of the corridor. The moment the door closes, the screaming begins. It is a terrible sound, sharp and desperate, echoing through the stone walls. The prisoners in your cell barely react. One man sighs and whispers, "Interrogation again tonight." Days pass inside the cell, though it becomes hard to tell exactly how many. The light that reaches you is weak and gray, slipping through a small opening somewhere high in the wall. Most of the time, the prison stays in a dim half-darkness. People sleep, wake, and sleep again without any real sense of time. The straw on the floor grows wetter and filthier with each passing day. No one cleans it, no one replaces it. The smell becomes something you stop noticing because your body simply gives up fighting it. Then the coughing begins. One prisoner starts with a rough, painful cough that shakes his entire body. At first, nobody says anything because sickness is common here. But after 2 days, another prisoner begins coughing too. Soon, a third joins them. The sound fills the cell like a warning bell. The The bearded man beside you quietly mutters, "This is how it spreads." You ask what spreads. He looks at you seriously. "Everything," he replies. "Disease spreads faster than guards in a place like this. Not everyone who walks these corridors carries chains." One afternoon, a different set of footsteps approaches your cell. Slower, softer. The guard unlocks the gate just long enough to let a thin man in dark robes step forward. A small wooden cross hangs from his neck. A priest. He moves from prisoner to prisoner, whispering prayers and asking for confessions. Some men ignore him. Others grab his robe like he might carry the key to freedom. When he reaches you, he studies your face for a long moment, as if trying to measure your soul. "You should confess your sins," he says gently. You blink. "What sins?" "The ones that brought you here." You explain that you are innocent. The priest nods politely, the way people do when they have heard that sentence far too many times. "Many men here say the same," he replies calmly. You ask the question that has been sitting in your mind since the door first closed. "Will I leave this place?" The priest sighs softly. "My son, most men leave this prison in only one direction." One morning, the prison wakes to a different kind of noise. Boots march down the corridor, louder than usual, followed by the crackle of parchment. A guard stops outside your cell holding a long scroll. Everyone inside immediately goes quiet. Even the coughing stops. The bearded prisoner beside you whispers, "The list." You don't need to ask which list. The guard clears his throat and begins reading names slowly. Each name lands like a stone dropped into water. The first prisoner begins to cry. Another man sinks to his knees, whispering prayers so fast the words blur together. A third prisoner simply laughs, the sound sharp and strange in the dark. The guard continues reading without emotion, like a farmer counting sheep. One by one, names disappear into the silence of the cell. Then he pauses. His eyes move across the prisoners until they stop on you. Your heart feels like it has stopped beating entirely. The guard reads your name clearly. Then he rolls up the scroll and says one simple word: tomorrow. The prison feels heavier than usual that night. Darkness presses against the walls like a living thing, and even the other prisoners are quieter than normal. Every sound seems amplified: the drip of water from the ceiling, the scraping of chains, the faint groan of someone turning in the straw. Sleep is impossible. You sit in the corner, shivering, trying to imagine anything other than the next day. Your stomach twists and your hands shake. The bearded prisoner from before slides closer to you, his eyes calm but serious. "You know what the worst part is?" he asks. You shake your head. "It's not the execution," he says quietly. You stare at him. "It's the waiting," he explains. Hours crawl by in silence. You listen to the distant coughs, the occasional chain scraping, the soft moan from another cell. Eventually, the familiar sound of heavy boots approaches, followed by the jingle of keys. The door opens. The guards call your name. Your legs tremble, but you stand. Passing the other cells, eyes follow you. Prayers, curses, hope, fear, all trapped behind stone. You step forward. Tomorrow has arrived.